Hi friends, welcome back. These are the 10 biggest mistakes people make when things aren't going right in your life. Let's get started. One thing that's not helpful is playing the blame game. When nothing's going right in your life, you're like a really bad Oprah. It's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. It's not helpful. In my example, I made a crucial life decision to leave a cushy, comfortable job in London. I had uprooted my life, shipped all my possessions to Dubai in the Middle East. 3 months in, I had a horrible car accident. 4 months into the job, I was sacked. You needed a job and a visa to stay in the country, otherwise you're kicked out. I blamed the company, I blamed my line manager, the toxic work environment, the lack of laws, and of course I blamed myself. I blamed anything and everything I could think of, and it was just digging me further and further in a hole. It wasn't helping, only served to make me right and the whole world wrong.
Quit playing blame games with my heart, with my heart.
Stop playing the blame game. When things don't go your way, you believe the situation will last like this forever. You've sentenced yourself to lifetime imprisonment of failure. In psychology, this frame of thinking is called catastrophizing, and it has to do with how we assign time frames to situations. I made a whole video on how to avoid this way of thinking. Link up here and watch it next. It gives you specific steps on how to avoid that way of thinking. Whether you're dealing with work-related issues, family, or stressful situations, very few problems lasts a lifetime. So remind yourself that this too shall pass. Another mistake is focusing on what you can't control. See, there are always things in life beyond our control. And when life doesn't go according to plan, it often involves things beyond our control. But dwelling on all the things and circumstances beyond your control sets you on the path of darkness, despair, and depression, and comfort eating. My example in that job, I remember distinctly asking for data about our customers so I can create the strategy going forward to grow our sales. Asking for that information is completely normal. In fact, in the UK, I was given that information and you based your strategy on that. When I asked for the data, I was not given the data. And I asked several times, no one gave me an answer. And I remember one time I had drinks with a colleague and he told me in private that they lie about the data, that they were giving customers numbers of 30, 40k when actually our data distribution was more like 2 to 3k. That didn't sit right with me and it affected how I felt about the product. I just didn't believe in it. So when things went tits up, as we say in England, I kept thinking about the lack of rules and ethics, which made me feel helpless and hopeless, and wondered how on earth was I going to survive out there. One of the most important things is to focus on what you can control. It's much more helpful for your mental health and your well-being. And you're more likely to come up with an answer that can help you move forward. So this thinking requires you shifting from thinking about the macro to thinking about the micro. Another big mistake is throwing yourself a pity party. My initial reaction when things went wrong was to throw myself a pity party. I was excited about this move, this life-changing decision, because up until then, everything in my career had been going great. What if I'm suddenly kicked out the country and all of my possessions are there and I have nothing left? Parties are supposed to make you feel good. Pity parties don't. They only serve to feed and fuel your ego by making you right and everyone wrong. That's what the ego wants. Making yourself right does not make the situation better. Throwing yourself a pity party is unhelpful. Common mistake people make when things aren't going right in your life is sinking into your comfort zone. After I was unfairly sacked, I spent many a day snoozing and lying in bed. And admittedly, I faffed around in shopping malls quite a bit. See, we didn't really have online shopping back then, so that was the alternative. You're already feeling vulnerable and fragile. And sinking into your comfort zone also shrinks your confidence, making it less likely that you will do the things you need to do to improve the situation, which requires confidence. Another big mistake we make when things don't go right in our life is we don't ask for help. We feel shame and embarrassed. So of course we're not going to ask for help. It's normal, isn't it? But not asking for help makes you feel even more isolated and hopeless. These are incredibly toxic emotions to feel, and you're not going to make your best decisions from those places. Asking for help can be hard, but it's an incredibly effective way to help yourself when things don't go right in your life. As one of the last clients I had a meeting with, I just reached out to her and explained the situation. She was so helpful. She just said, send me your CV. There are 2 people I will forward your CV on to. 2 days later, I was being interviewed for a job. And at the end of the interview, I had secured a job. If I hadn't reached out for help, who knows what would have happened. Don't be afraid to call on friends and colleagues and co-workers. You've got nothing to lose apart from your pride, which is a good thing. Another big mistake is we ignore the things that are going right. When things are going wrong, it's hard to see the things that are going right because we have this negativity bias. But it's helpful to take off those negative specs for a while and put on some positive specs and look for things going right in your life. Share in the comments, what's one thing that's going right in your life? When things are going wrong, we stop taking care of ourselves. That's when bad eating habits creep in, we stop exercising. And this actually makes you feel worse. You're not going to take positive, impactful action when you feel that way. Another mistake you make is you lack perspective. See, most of the problems and things we are worrying about today won't matter in 5 years. So just remind yourself that whatever is going wrong in your life right now is just a blip in your lifespan. This is where thinking macro instead of micro is useful. Biggest mistake people make when things are not going right in your life is believing all the thoughts you think. The squatter in your head is running around causing havoc in your head like most of the thoughts you are thinking when things are not going your way are either not true or completely unhelpful. Don't believe all the thoughts you think. Watch this video next. I share with you 7 things you can do when things are not going your way. If you found this video useful, please click subscribe and remember to click the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching. I'm Annie Skizzlebash and I will see you in another video.